Hello everybody, Starlight Animations and Gaming here, and yeah, it's been forever. um, Due to a combination of technical difficulties and a bunch of learning new stuff, and just general procrastination, I haven't been able to record. And yes, I am wearing a new skin. I'm an orc! I've been recently very interested in the Warhammer 40k universe, and so along with Dungeons and Dragons and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm an orky boy now. So I was recently on a different Minecraft world, playing with Bedrock's Bedrock Edition's version of World Edit, and it actually is really fun to work with. And so I thought that I might be able to build something for you guys. And so I'm going to be doing a multitude of time lapses if I can get Bedrock Edition's version of the replay mod to work. So that I can show you guys me building a really big thing with cool terraforming and all that good stuff. So I'm going to mess around with the World Edit mod bit, not World Edit, Replay mod, and see if this wants to work at all. So, for whatever reason, I couldn't get it to work. So we're simply just going to do a, I don't know, maybe jump cuts if you guys are okay with that. Will tell me and I'll do that. This is definitely not going to be done in a single video. That 100% not. This is big project I have planned, and so this is going to take quite a bit of time, and I'm pretty sure that I am only going to be able to do the terraforming and the planning in this video. This project is so big. So, I haven't revealed what it's going to be yet, and that's good because I'm going to reveal it to you when I'm starting the planning. So, gonna hop into a time lapse, and work's about to get done. So this is Starlight from the future here, and while I was editing this, I realized that I forgot to do the one thing that the person who made the World Edit mod asked us to do, which is give him credit. So, credit for the World Edit mod goes to MrWilco. Link to his channel will be in the description. And this is awesome, man. Thank you so much. This makes my terraforming so much easier. It's amazing. Okay, so it's about this point that I'm making this an extremely flat plateau, and that's for a reason. I'm going to do much better, more interesting terraforming later in the build, but I want it to be extremely flat so that I have a nice, clean surface to be able to plan and build on before. And I learned the hard way with my previous world that I was testing World Edit on that it is really hard to predict how big something, and I generally very much underestimate the size of certain buildings. And so I struggled in that world to be able to put houses on top of flat surfaces because the flat surfaces were too small, and I did not want to uh have to manually terraform to be able to put houses on top of those surfaces. I did, but I didn't like it. So, um it's really flat. Don't worry, it'll get a lot better. And the cliff face, there's actually some lore to the cliff face. It's there so that the castle doesn't need a big wall to be defended. That steep cliff face basically acts as the wall. The cliff face is the wall. And so yeah, it's big, flat. Yes, it's a big flat plateau. I am going to blend it into the ground around it while still keeping it steep, and I'm going to completely change the dirt, not the grass, the dirt that will soon be replacing the sand eventually. So, yeah. Whew. This is a lot of sand. Uh, so now that we have this much done, I can go back and start getting rid of some of this. I want this all to be perfectly flat. Boy. So, thanks to Wilco for this beautiful, beautiful Bedrock Edition version of World Edit. It takes a bit of getting used to, probably Java's World Edit, but it doesn't have as many features, but it does the trick. Alright. Are there any barrier blocks on the surface here? Does not appear to be so. Good. So, I want this all to be perfectly flat. I will make the terrain more interesting later. I want lots of sand currently. And the reason I use sand is because sand falls. So I'm going to get rid of all this in a time lapse. And when I'm back, I will I'll tell you what I'm building. So, I realized halfway through that I just could have used World Edit to flatten this out. But at that point, I was basically just like, it's too late to turn back. So, back to filling this stuff in. Alright, so now I would like to discuss the animations part of my name. Uh, The reason there are no animations on the channel yet is because I'm just lazy. I've been working on one on and off for for like a few months now, and it's not nowhere close to being done. It's like a wacky, kind of stupid, silly Gmod animation. So that's something for you guys to look forward to. Back to present me in a few seconds. Haha, actually, I lied. I didn't realize that it was another time-lapse clip next, and while I was editing the video, and so I messed that one up. I have no clue what to talk about in this short of time. It's 27 seconds this clip is. So alright, so that's another pretty big chunk done. All we've got left is this space right here. And so I think that's pretty much it. And then we can start transforming this sand into like actual terraforming. So, and then we'll also be able to start figuring out where everything's going to go for the kingdom. On this major plinth / platform thing is going to be a pretty large castle, though I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to make this thing bigger, maybe, because I have a way of underestimating how big terraforming needs to be. So this might be big enough, might be. And this actually may even be too big. We'll have to find out. I hope to get this flat world populated with a bunch of big builds. And so that's a very big goal to work for. It'll take probably more than a few mini-series. But for now, let's focus on this one. So, in hindsight, when I said that it might not be big enough, it definitely is. That was just me doubting myself, which is something that I probably need to stop doing. Yeah. I was tired as heck when I recorded this. Like, I still am tired as heck. But, I've started doing art, and, I'm thinking about doing commissions. So, if people are watching this and you want a commission done by someone who is really good at drawing D&D characters, then, say something. I don't know where I'm going to do commissions, but, commissions will be coming soon. I'm still working on example pieces. I have a currently completed piece of a pseudo-dragon sleeping on a book in a library. Very cute. I'm currently working on a piece of his master, Peppermint, a female tiefling warlock. And, I'm going to do a third piece of good old Game of Chance, a male Tabaxi rogue. So, we're basically all done with this giant plinth. And so, I need to get rid of these little things around here, so I'm gonna do that. And, I'm actually learning a bunch of different stuff so that I can build games. And my current idea for a game that I'm working on and planning out is... I don't have a name for it yet, so if anyone has any ideas, just, I don't know, put it in the comment section. It's going to be a third-person shooter slash sandbox shooter slash RPG with a Garry's Mod style sandbox mode, a single player campaign, and like your typical capture the flag and capture the flag, control point, those kinds of game modes for like a PvP only type thing. And there are currently 8 classes, which I'll get into later, but we have this giant plinth now. Oh, I can't render it all in. Oh. Giant plinth, perfect for building. So, I'm going to start planning some stuff out. And then, I guess that'll be the end of the video. While I'm converting all the sand to dirt, let's discuss more about my game idea. So there will be D&D style character creation, where you select one of, I think, 7 races, and then one of 8 classes, and then you get to, like, choose which, but then there's going to be a sort of payday style skill tree system, in which if it's a hybridized payday style, where you have three trees, and then, but where in Payday, you only advance that one tree if you put points into it. In my game, if you put points into a tree, you advance the whole of the 3 trees, allowing for, like, an infinite number of different play styles for each class. And there'll be... So, there are 4 medieval classes in the game and 4 modern classes. And the whole game is the medieval versus modern beating the ever-living crap out of each other in everything but the single-player campaign. So... Alright, so now to start planning, I've got a bunch of new books in my other mod called Forest X. Link to that will also be in the description. And we need wool. Alright, so red will be buildings. Dark gray will be outer walls. And then, say brown will be paths. So, hold on, be a little trolling. Bap. Alright, sorry. Let's start off with the the main keep. We need to make this an interesting shape. So maybe take this down quite a bit and go over this way. And not that much, but and then circular structure. Like, not quite a semicircle. It's part of a circle. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is more than enough space. Then let's make this edge the front. That will be a problem if it shows up in the video. If it doesn't, good. You have no clue what I'm talking about. Good. Let's shorten that a bit. Back. Over. Out. Back that way. And then meet up with this main keep. Let's then put like a stable type building right here. Make it very long. And maybe like a stable hands house right next to it. Just a bit bigger. You see, this is what I would do in Averian if I had a working sheep farm. Automatic sheep farm. Sheep farm. Alright. So we've got that. Hold on. I think that we may not need an outer wall. Yeah. That means that we can completely redo the main keep, make it much bigger. The only reason I'm not time-lapsing this is because when I'm time-lapsing, I feel like I need to stay silent. And so, it does me good to talk out my thought process. And so, that also might give you a bit of insight into what goes on in my head. Right, so we do not need the outer walls, and so the keep can be much bigger. And then do like an actual set half circle. That's half of the 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this, then is that right? Not quite. I think I need to do that. Yeah, that looks about right. To me, at least. And then we bring this back. Reserve this area for like a garden type space. So this build is also going to, most of the builds on this world are going to have some lore behind them, because why not, pretty much. And so I should, yeah, I should have diagonal walls. And I need to figure out what kind of kingdom it's going to be, so that I can choose my color palette accordingly. Yeah, have that keep going. Then bring this back out over this way, and then use another diagonal line, just not as, just more, you know, just more, I don't know how to describe it. I'm not really all that good. Look, I'm a writer and a builder, not a geometry expert. There we go. And then have a rounded so it needs to meet up there. Right. Alright, and then use that, bring it up this way, leave some room back here for terraining. We've got lots of room for terraforming back here. Let's move this. Let's move the actual stable back. And give the stable hand a bit bigger of a house. I'm actually going to have to measure out the stable. So starting back here, just bring it over this way, and then technically 6, so that there's 5 blocks in the middle. So this is outlying space. So we can now expand the stable hand's house to be 2 blocks wider. And now we have room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horses. Cool. So that's our stable and stable hand's house. And I want to have like guard tower, maybe? Yeah. So put a guard tower there. And I should map out path. So actually move this guard tower a bit closer to the edge. This is going to be quite the long clip, but that is okay. Alright, so we have a guard tower there. We're going to have a staircase that winds up that way. I'm going to need to bring out this face a little bit. So like maybe this way out to here. Well, I'll do the rest of the planning as off camera as to not make this video too long. Alright, I'll come back when I'm done, and that'll be the end of the video. Look at this planning. Everything has been planned and marked. So we have a staircase leading from ground level up to the top of this plateau. But don't worry, there's a guard tower to keep intruders from using this staircase. And there is an elite shooting range for the Lord's Elite Guard. I'll fix that later. That is not the right size. Stable Hand's house, stables, and Lord's Keep you all saw during the live action. Not live action, but like whatever. We have the Lord's Garden over here. All the way here we have the storehouse, a diagonal storehouse. I wanted so badly to fit some sort of guard tower back here, but I couldn't, unfortunately. So, and then we have space back here for forming, and plenty of space up here for trees some very nice, colorful foliage. So I think that's where we're going to end off for the day. I'm going to do a different outro this time. Alright, I'm gonna try and do an orc outro. Let's do this. Enjoy the war and get more darker. Yeah. that was weird. I'll work on it. See ya.